Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Prabhudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, Vandya, Sevya, Nandvinodini Mataji, for the beautiful kirtan. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the home program of Pankaj Prabhu and Shika Mataji's house. We have a special guest, His Grace Arjun Sakha Prabhu, here with us. So before we begin, request everyone to please settle down. Wherever there is free space, please occupy. This is like Sunday feast. Just come forward. I see a long line. You all can come here. Prabhu, please feel free to come. Sure. Yeah, if there is no space, please come. Don't leave any space. So Prabhu has been talking about the 13 Upper Sampradayas, and today is part 4 of it. It's the final conclusion. He has covered 9 Sampradayas so far.
8.
8, okay. So Prabhu has completed 8. He has 6 more remaining, Prabhu? 5 more.
5.
Okay, sorry, my math is bad. So I asked ChatGPT what is actually these Upper Sampradayas and what Srila Prabhupada has told. So this is what it said. Srila Prabhupada consistently echoed the caution of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Beware of the many deviant sects that illegitimately invoke Lord Chaitanya's name. He stressed that a sincere devotee must follow the authorized parampara strictly and avoid the company of imitators, pretenders, and caste gurus. Prabhupada thought that associating with any of these 13 Upper Sampradayas would simply spoil one's devotional service. So we have seen what happened, what are these Upper Sampradayas. So when you see something which is not right, you know what is right. So Prabhu is so kindly prepared for these classes, and he's giving us these classes for us to understand what are these and how glorified Sampradaya we have. So we are so fortunate that Prabhu is here with us, and all of you all are here, Kartik month. You all could be in many other places. There are so many events happening in Austin, but it is so nice to see all of you all, full house today. With that, let's welcome Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, over to you.
Hare Krishna.
Kichal can come front.
Hare Krishna. Is my voice audible at the back? Feel free to slide ahead. Wherever we find a vacant spot, feel free to come ahead. Thank you very much for very kindly being here for our 4th and our last class that we have been discussing on the 13 Upper Sampradayas that Srila Prabhupada and Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur have time and again given at different times, at different places, and they've emphasized on each and every sampradaya as to how we can identify them, how we understand they are deviating from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how we can make sure that we can be loyal and chaste to our Gaudiya Parampara or Gaudiya Siddhanta. So till now we have done 8 of them, which means we have 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Some devotees are already smiling because they pretty well know that to do 5, and we have already started like maybe, 30 minutes late. To finish 5 in one class is going to be a challenge in itself, considering we did only 1 on the first day, which was Jati Gosai. But nonetheless, I think with all of your kind blessings and mercy, we will try to somehow march our way, crawl our way, and finish the 13, the last 5 that are there. But before we get started, let us chant the verse for one last time that we have been doing in all our previous classes. Kindly repeat. Aula baula karta bhaja neda daravesha sai. Sahajeya sakhi beki smarta jata gosai. Oti badi chudadhare gauranga nagare. All together. Tota kahe e terara sanga nahi kare. Tota kahe e terara. Tera means 13. E terara sanga nahi kare. Don't associate with these 13 types of irreligion or 13 types of apasiddhanta. So from this verse, what all have we done till now? Okay, let's go from the first line. Aula, Daravesh, Sai, Neda also we did. Neda, Gundu, Neda, Nedi. Yes. Then second line, Sahajiya, Smarta, Jat Gosai, which leaves us with Karta Bhaja from the first, Sakhi Beki from the second, Atibadi, Chudadhari and Gauranga Nagari from the third, which makes it 5 of them. So let's continue. I'm going through them quickly. If you are able to catch it, great. Okay. 9 and 10 go together. That is Sakhi Beki and Chudadhari. These are that kind of people right from the onset. You just look at them and you understand it's a deviation. Why? Bheki means dress. Sakhi Beki, these are those people who dress like female. Male, most often, end up dressing like female. Funny, right? Male end up dressing like female. And then you have a next category called as Chudadhari, who think they are Krishna and they wear peacock feather. So one is male who tries to be like a female as Sakhi Bheki. Bheki means dress. And then you have Chudadhari who try to play the role of Krishna by wearing peacock feathers. As we discussed, if you remember, we mentioned some are internal, some are external. These straight away fall in the category of external. Now we don't require any siddhanta to understand that this is a deviation. Maybe there's some others that we did, which were more internal, we had to go through, but this is pretty clear. It's a deviation. The confidential gopis are called as Sakhis. The word Bekhi is a corruption of the Sanskrit word Vesha, which means dress. A Sakhi Bheki is a person, often a male, who dresses up like a gopi and imagine himself as being enjoyed by Krishna. Sakhi Bekis imitate the Rasa Leela, sometimes by dancing with a person dressed like Krishna who wears a chuda or a crown of peacock feathers. This person is called Chudadhari. So both go hand in hand. One ends up being Sakhi Beki, another becomes Chudadhari. Both don't know what Mahaprabhu has preached, and both end up thinking one is Radharani, one is Krishna. Utter nonsense. Doesn't make any sense. When Srila Bhaktivikas Swami Maharaj, prior to his sannyas, he was Ilapati Das. So he was going through Prabhupada's purports, and he saw many times Prabhupada was hinting or writing strongly against Mayavad. And he was not able to understand what this Mayavad is. So he went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I am not able to understand what this Mayavad is. Srila Prabhupada said, good, it is not worth understanding. Achha, nahi samajh mein aaya, bahut acha. Don't even try. So similarly, these people follow a very weird, unique, so-called concocted sampradaya of Sakhi Beki and Chudadhari. And interestingly, the origin for this is during Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, there was a guru who ended up initiating a disciple who was a male, but ended up giving him the name Lalita. And normally the disciple gives Guru Dakshina. Here the guru gave the disciple sari. And he put a sari across him and gave him the name Lalita. And that started the Sakhi Beki tradition. And all this happened during Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. So look at Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He's already fighting the Upper Siddhantas that were there earlier, and now newer Upper Siddhantas are coming. My goodness, it's a crazy task to illuminate and to expose them. And if you see, these people are still there. You go to Vrindavan, you will still... Maybe the children, if they can be a little quieter. We find that these people are still present in the land of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sakhi Beki and Chudadhari. We see that Srimati Radharani, we are talking about Sakhis. Srimati Radharani, one time Krishna went to Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani was in Barsana, as she is always there. Srimati Radharani appeared. Where did Srimati Radharani appear? Raval. Who said it? Srimati Radharani appeared in Raval, performed her baby pastimes in Barsana, and after marriage went to? Someone said it. Yavat, yes. Yavat. This is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur he writes in a song, Vrishabhanu pure janamalo ilo yavata vivaha hobe. He says that, my dear Radharani, if I am given the opportunity, I would want to do exactly the way Srimati Radharani has done. I would want to take my birth in Raval, because that time I can associate with Radharani. After that, I would want to perform my pastimes as I grow up in the land of Barsana, because that's where Srimati Radharani is. And finally, I would want to go to Yavat. Vrishabhanu pure janama loilo yavata vivaha hobe. After vivaha, after marriage, I would want to go to Yavat, because that's where Srimati Radharani went. Now, it's very interesting that one time our Krishna, Shyama Sundar Shri Krishna, went to Srimati Radharani. And Krishna likes attention very much. And when he doesn't get it, it's very difficult for him. Because Krishna is known for grabbing eyeballs. He is known for getting attention. This one time Krishna went to Srimati Radharani and said, "Oh Radhe," Radharani was inside. He said, "Oh Radhe, look who has come." Srimati Radharani from inside, she said, Kaha asi, who is it? Kaha asi, like someone rings the bell or knocks, you say, kaun hai? Like in Hindi, you say, kaun hai? Kind of funny, reminds me. In the early 2000s, I heard this from His Grace Gauranga Prabhu. Very funny. Gauranga Prabhu said, one time I came after a preaching program and I came back to Radha Gopinath temple. And after I came back to Radha Gopinath temple, it was night time. And the lights were all off, and those were the days they would sleep in the temple hall. So he came and he had a particular place. He would sleep under one particular fan. And this time when he came, someone was already sleeping. So he went and he couldn't figure out who it is. So he tried to bend and peep a bit, but the person had covered himself with a shawl, so he couldn't figure out. So Gauranga Prabhu went close to the person and said, "Kaun hai?" And that person replied, "Radhanath Swami." Gauranga Prabhu said, "My goodness, I straight away felt like that only." Oh, Krishna. Such things only Gauranga Prabhu can ask. He has that relationship with Maharaj, which I don't think anyone can have. He has that very special relationship, and Maharaj has that soft corner for him. Kaun hai? Radhanath Swami. So from inside Radharani he said, "Kaha, see, who is it? Kaun hai?" And Krishna from outside, he responds, "It's me, Hare." Now Hare also means a lion, because Mahaprabhu is called Gaura Hare. Shri Gaura Hare Mahaprabhu ki. Gaura means golden, Hare means lion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered like a golden lion. Nara Hare, Narsinghadev. So Krishna said, "I am Hare." Radharani said, "Lion? What is a lion doing outside my house? Get out from here." Krishna thought, my goodness, no one has chastised me like this. Krishna said, no, it's me, Ghanasham. Radharani said, "Ghanasham, clouds? What are clouds doing here? I don't want any rain. There has already been sufficient rain. I don't want any rain. You go to some other province and rain." Krishna said, now Krishna is having an identity crisis. How do I introduce myself? Krishna says, no, it's me, Madhava. Now, one meaning of Madhava is the husband of Lakshmi. Madhava also means spring season. Srimati Radharani says spring season, but spring season is already done. Why is the spring season again come back? I don't want the spring season. You please go back from here. Krishna is thinking, what am I supposed to do? How do I introduce? Krishna says, "Oh Radhe, it's me, Chakri." One meaning of Chakri is he who holds the chakra. But another meaning of Chakri is a potter. See, in the village life, you have potters. Not Harry Potter. The moment I said potter, I could see the smile was like Jagannath. Not Harry Potter. This is another potter, the one who makes the clay pots. Srimati Radharani said, "Chakri, potter, what are you doing outside my house? There is no marriage event here. You go to some marriage festival. Go to some event where you can make a livelihood. I have nothing to offer you. Please go from here." Krishna didn't know what to say. Then finally Krishna said, "It's me, Krishna." Srimati Radharani said, "Krishna?" Krishna also means a black snake. Radharani said, "Black snake, what are you doing? Ouch! Go out from here." Krishna is thinking, what am I supposed to do? Haar maan gaye hum. Krishna is finding it difficult to introduce himself. He is Krishna. He did it very easily in front of Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Matta smriti jnana apohanam cha vedheisha sarvai ahameva vedyo vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. He who knows past, present, future, who knows all the Vedas, is finding it difficult to introduce himself. Welcome to Vrindavan Dham. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Finally, Krishna loses. He doesn't have anything to say. The land of Vrindavan is extremely sweet. It is that land where logic doesn't work. If we go with tarka, kutarka, logic, one will never be able to see Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan is the place where it's the place of heart. Love supersedes all logic. Outside of Vrindavan, logic will work. In the land of Vrindavan, only love will work. And those who go to Vrindavan with this mood of wanting to love Krishna and not being like Keshav Kashmiri, debating, they can see the sweetness of Krishna. But till the time the mood of tarka, kutarka, logic is there, it will not work. One time one person, he went to a farmer. And this farmer, in his farm, he had a bull. And he had tied a bell across the neck of the bull. So this person, who was a logician, he went to the farmer and said, "My dear farmer, why do you have this bell on the neck of this bull?" This farmer said, "That's because when the bull walks, I will understand it's walking by the ching, ching, ching sound." The logician said, "I have a question. What if it is just standing at one place and moving its head? What will it do?" The farmer said, "It's a bull, not a logician like you. It will not do like that." Sometimes we think too much tarka, kutarka and logic, but in Vrindavan, logic doesn't work, only love works. The Brajavasis are very simple. Krishna's friends are very simple. Mother Yashoda is very simple. And so Srimati Radharani and the other Sakhis like Lalita and Vishakha. But this is that weird concept where the male take the form of a female, and the reason they do that is they think by constantly thinking of themselves as female and by dressing like female, they think one day, very soon, they can become the next Sakhi in Radha and Krishna's pastimes. So again, like Sahajiya concept, no sadhana. Hum sadhana nahi karenge. Whatever is sahaj, we will do that. Whatever is easy, we will do that. We will not do bhakti. We will not aspire for prema bhakti. We will not chant. We will not chant in Brahma Murta. Nothing. We will change attire. Sari pehnenge. It's a very weird, if you are not understanding very good, it's not worth understanding. Sakhi Bekhi. And then is Chudadhari, who come along with them, where there are another male who wear peacock feather. And they think they are having their own rasa dance. Krishna wears peacock feathers, and when Krishna wears it, it's amazing. In the 10th canto, in the section of Venu Geet, you have this famous verse that glorifies Krishna's beauty. One of those verses that attracted Shukadev Goswami to come out of his meditation also. Barha pidam natavara vapu karnayoho karnikaram bhibrat vasana kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamalam randhrar venu radharasudayo rapurayan gopa brindai vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti. Canto 10, chapter 21, text 5 of the Venu Geet. Krishna is just entering inside the forest. How does Shukadev Goswami introduce? Baraha Pidam. Oh, he is that personality who has a crown of peacock feathers. He has a crown of peacock feathers. Because when Krishna would play the flute, these peacock feathers would be enamored by Krishna's flute playing and they would come. And the peacocks love clouds. And Krishna is Ghanasham. He's Meghasham. He's Navajaladhara Sham. Krishna looks bluish black. For the peacock, it's an uddipan. It's a stimulant. When they look at Krishna who's bluish black and is playing the flute, Krishna's flute playing is like the thunder, and the clouds, or the bluish black complexion is like the clouds. And the peacocks, they start to dance. And when they start to dance, Krishna also starts to dance. And the peacocks dance. And Krishna dances. And it goes back and forth. It's an Arangetram. On the spot Arangetram performance. No prior planning, no pamphlet distribution, no booking of hall. Now booking of hall, nothing. And free of cost. No photography. That's also a big thing, right? I've seen while the dance is going on, the photographers go in all different directions. Or they do all different poses to get the right shot because they're paid for it. Krishna, nothing. Straight away starts dancing. And the peacocks are dancing. At one point, the peacocks look at Krishna and says, my dear Lord, we have only one quality, that is the art of dancing, and that also you're doing better than us. It's inferiority complex for us. Krishna, you're anyway better than us in everything. We have only one thing, usme bhi aap badhiya hai, hum jaye to kahan jaye? Where will we go? And as an offering to Krishna, they start plucking their peacock feathers. Guru Dakshina. They gave their Guru Dakshina to Krishna. And they start plucking their peacock feathers. And Krishna takes that. And as an offering from them, puts it on his head. Krishna is very grateful. Srila Prabhupada was like that. In 1966-67, when Prabhupada was giving initiations at the 26th Avenue, Prabhupada gave initiation to one disciple, Upendra Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. And Upendra Prabhu, in his memories, he says, when Prabhupada gave me initiation, I had heard about Guru Dakshina, but I didn't know what to give. Because they were all in their early 20s, but they had heard the concept of Guru Dakshina. So he said, when Prabhupada gave me, I went outside and I thought I should give some Guru Dakshina to Prabhupada. He came back with a beach towel and a baby blanket. He gave a beach towel to Prabhupada, Guru Dakshina. Prabhupada looked at that and said, what am I supposed to do? Which beach I will go? And baby blanket, Prabhupada said, I am sannyasi. I have given up that life. Why will I take it? But then Upendra Prabhu says, Prabhupada was so grateful to whatever we gave. Prabhupada, from that baby blanket and the beach towel that was there, Prabhupada cut that and made that into small mats. And those became the sitting mats of the 26th Avenue when Prabhupada would give classes. Upendra Prabhu says, I had never imagined that you can use everything in Krishna's service, including a towel. But Prabhupada had this ability of connecting everything to Krishna and being grateful of whatever people are gifting him. You would never find Prabhupada putting down someone and saying, oh, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't want this. And Krishna has this quality. Simple peacock feather. What do they mean in Krishna's life? Krishna is Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He owns everything. He is the source of all sources. He is the creator of all creators. He is the origin of all origins. From him, everything emanates. And he is happy with one peacock feather. Because Krishna is not behind what we give, but Krishna is behind what is the intention with which we are giving. Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto, he says, Manne dhanabhijana rupa tapashrutojas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga naradhanai bhavanti parasya pumsam bhaktya tutoshna bhagavan gajayutapaya. Canto 7, chapter 9, text 9, prayers of Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj says, Manne dhana, it's not our wealth that is going to attract Krishna. Abhijana, it's not our followers. How much followers we have, how much subscribers we have, it means nothing in the eyes of Krishna. 10 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 10 likes, 50 comments, 100 people are watching live. Krishna doesn't care. When the person departs this world, Krishna is not going to give some bonus point, 15,000 subscriber tha. Krishna doesn't do that. Krishna doesn't think, oh, for his class, 50 are watching live. Oh, some bonus point. Krishna, it's immaterial in the eyes of Krishna. All that Krishna sees is whether the person has done bhakti. That's it. Period. Nothing more, nothing less. Has the person done bhakti? If the answer is yes, the doors of the spiritual world open. If the person has not, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam, iya samsare, bahudustare, kripaya pahi pahi murare, bhaja govindam, govindam, bhaja moodamate. Shankaracharya is very strong. So, we see this point of how Prahlad Maharaj says, it's not our name, fame, recognition, followers, money, bodily strength, rupa, ojas, sensory expertise. It's none of these things. Manne, dhana, bijana, rupa, tapa, how much tapa we have done. Shruta, teja, prabhava, bala, paurusha, buddhi, yoga. Naradhana hi bhavanti parasya pumsam. Bhagavan nahi reachte. The Supreme Lord doesn't get attracted to any of these things. Then what is the thing that he gets attracted to? Bhaktya tutoshna bhagavan gajayutapaya. Prahlad Maharaj says there is only one thing that Krishna is looking out for, that's bhakti. And he gives the example of Gajendra. What did Gajendra have? Nothing. Four-legged animal. He didn't have some multi-billion-dollar mansion. He didn't have following. He didn't have any of the. He had strength. But that strength, the pride that he had of that strength was also crushed in the jaws of the crocodile. All that he had is bhakti. And for that bhakti, the Supreme Lord came down as fast as possible. My Guru Maharaj was explaining that when the crocodile had caught the foot of Gajendra, Gajendra thought to himself, what can I give? I don't have anything to give to Krishna. But then he thought, Krishna has only said, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. He thought to himself, Patram I cannot give. Phalam I don't have. I am there in toyam, but how do I give it? But there is a lotus flower. There is a pushpam here. My Guru Maharaj was explaining, he was saying, Gajendra remembered this one verse that Krishna spoke of the Gita, picked up that flower and gave it back to Krishna, my dear Lord. Please help me. And there our Acharyas comment that Krishna at that time, he sat on the back of Garuda so that he can go and protect Gajendra. And as Gajendra was flying, Krishna looked at Garuda and said, "You are very slow." Garuda. He is he's Tesla 10x. That's Garuda. And Krishna looks at Garuda and says, "You are very slow." Garuda is flapping his wings as fast as possible. And Krishna still looks at him and says, "You are very slow." And interestingly, at that point, Krishna was so eager to protect his devotee that the Acharya writes, Krishna, as he's sitting on the back of Garuda, Krishna is adjusting his upper cloth. He didn't even have time to adjust his upper cloth. He just sat, and as Garuda was flying, he was adjusting. So eager to protect his devotee. Why? Because the devotee just gave one flower. One flower is enough to attract Krishna. But not this. This doesn't attract him. When the person is in Sampradaya and is straightforward, Krishna accepts. But as Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say, if there is crookedness, that is something Krishna cannot accept. If someone is straightforward and trying, Krishna accepts the person. But if someone is crooked, Krishna doesn't like that. So you have these kind of people who are Sakhi Beki and Chudadhari. Both go hand in hand. One is male dressing like a female, thinking that they are the next Radharani, so to say. And another thinks that just by wearing peacock feather, they are going to become Krishna. Sakhi Beki and Chudadhari. If you see here, Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela chapter 9, text 137, Prabhupada writes, one cannot enter into Krishna's Rasa Leela dance simply by artificially imitating or artificially thinking oneself a Sakhi and dressing up like one. Clear-cut language. Just by imagining and wearing, you don't get it. You may think you have got it, but you have not got it. Far from reality. One time one person came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have one question. Now you have to be very careful when you ask a question to Prabhupada, because he would have an answer for everything. And as we saw in our previous discussions, Prabhupada has an apt, witty, sharp answer on the go. One person came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, Krishna, everything is okay. But why did he dance with so many gopis? That is not correct. He is telling Prabhupada. He who started a revolution, this person comes to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, all that is okay. Krishna is dancing with so many gopis. That I think is not correct. Prabhupada looked at him and said, do you accept everything belongs to Krishna? He said, yes. Wo Bhagwan hai. Everything belongs to him. Prabhupada said, okay. Then Prabhupada looked at him and said, are you married, by the way? He said, yes, Swamiji, I am married. Prabhupada said, if you are married, that means your wife also belongs to Krishna. I am asking you, why are you staying with Krishna's wife? He was surprised. He didn't see this logic coming. He thought he could battle and debate and argue with Prabhupada, but Prabhupada had this beautiful sense of humor. And that was it. He never came back. Yad gatva na nivartante. So Srila Prabhupada had a very beautiful way of approaching, and for those who were argumentative, Prabhupada would speak in their language. And for those who were straightforward and simple, Prabhupada would give a very straightforward answer. So that was Sakhi, Beki and Chudadhari. Now we go to our 11th. So 9 and 10 done. Now we go to 11th, which is Karta Bhaja. What is it? Can someone read the purport Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela? Someone with a loud voice.
One should accept the thing as genuine by studying the words of saintly people, the spiritual master and Shastra. The actual center is Shastra, the revealed scripture. If the spiritual master does not speak according to a revealed scripture, he is not to be accepted. Similarly, if a saintly person does not speak according to the Shastra, he is not a saintly person. Shastra is the center for all.
Shastra is the center for all. We are always taught the triangle. Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, or Sadhu, Guru, Shastra, however you see it. These are the three basic pillars. It is Krishna Consciousness 101. When we join, we are told Sadhu, Guru, Shastra. All go hand in hand. If the Sadhu speaks something that's not given in Shastra, then he's not a Sadhu. Sadhu speaks in line with the Supreme Lord and the Shastra. Sadhu, Guru and Shastra. Now interestingly, this Karta Bhaja sect that is there. The word Karta means boss. Kartaham iti manyate. The Gita it says. The word Karta means a boss. These are those kinds of people who preach. These are those kinds of people who preach that Guru is everything. We don't require the deity of Krishna. We don't have to chant his holy name. We don't require any holy dham. We don't require anything about Krishna. For us, Guru is everything. Guru kripa hi kevalam. If we have Guru, then we have everything. We don't worship Krishna's deity. We don't chant Krishna's name. No Hare Krishna Mahamantra, nothing. Guru is everything. Now, if we see from a realistic picture, Guru holds a very special position in the life of the practitioner. He is that personality who connects the living entity to Krishna. But this is that philosophy that takes this point way too much, and where they start preaching wherein you don't require holy name, you don't require deities, you don't require any of the Damodarashtakam. Guru is everything. And that Guru who is there, he will also speak the same language that yes, you worship me, it is everything. So Guru who proclaims as God, and the followers are those who say that, well, if Guru is there, everything is there. I don't require any deity, I don't require any form, I don't require anything about Krishna. Now, dear devotees, is this what Mahaprabhu preached? No. This is not Mahaprabhu's dhara. This is not Mahaprabhu's mission. We hold a very special position of Guru in our life. In the morning Samsara Dava prayers also we find all 8 verses are glorification to Sri Guru. The Guru Puja that we sing by Narottam Das Thakur, that's also glorification at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. But again, having said that, we don't go to the extreme where we start neglecting Krishna. then what is the purpose of even worshipping Guru? When you take God out of the equation, when you take Krishna's deity out of the equation, when you take his holy name out of the equation, then what's the use of having a Guru who's not even following Shastra, and you're following that personality who's not in any way connected to the previous acharyas? So, Karta means the boss. Karta Bhaja is that Sampradaya who say, Guru is everything. सब कुछ है गुरु. भगवान की आवश्यकता नहीं है, गुरु सब कुछ है. The word Karta means master or boss. The founder of Karta Bhaja Sampradaya was Aul Chand, who lived approximately from 1686 to 1779. So now all of this is way before Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance. So he is not just fighting contemporary Apasampradayas, he's also fighting things that happened 100, 200 years in the past. This Aul Chand, he was a fakir or a darvesh, as we explained. Who is the acharya for darvesh? Sanatan Goswami, yes. Sanatan Goswami. Srila Sanatan Goswami ki. He was a fakir or a darvesh, said by his followers to be none other than Lord Chaitanya himself, whom they say reappeared 200 years after he appeared in Sridham Mayapur, which means, all, in essence, they say the person who started the Sampradaya was none other than Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Where is it given? In the dream. Nowhere in the Shastra. So complete deviation, complete concoction, mental speculation that has no substance found in any of the Shastra. Reminds me, we're talking about Sri Guru and following Sri Guru. One time, one Prabhupada disciple, he was sitting in the presence of Srila Prabhupada. And as he was sitting in the presence of Srila Prabhupada, he was counting envelopes. And he was counting envelopes and he was sticking the stamp. You see, in the olden time, you would have the stamp that you stick to envelopes. So he was sticking the stamp to the envelope. And as he was doing that, he did something that is very often seen in India. Prabhupada saw that and Prabhupada said, "Hey, Muchi, this is Shudra, this is not Brahmana, this is Muchi." Prabhupada said, "Take a cup of water, put your index finger into that, and then count or then put stamps." He said, "Okay, Prabhupada." And then he took a cup of water, put his index finger inside, and then started doing it. Eventually, Srila Prabhupada had to leave the room, and Srila Prabhupada went outside. And the cup of water ended. He thought, why not we go to our old technique? Anyway, we have practiced, why not go to the old technique? Prabhupada is anyway not there. He took his index finger, stretched out his tongue, almost put it inside, the door opened and Prabhupada was standing. Prabhupada looked at him and said, "I told you not to do it, why are you doing it?" And he said, "My goodness, when I'm making a mistake, Prabhupada is there. When I'm doing something correct, he is not there around. But when I'm doing something wrong, he comes out of nowhere to chastise me." And Prabhupada looked at him and said, "Brahmana will never do this. This is Muchi." Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, "Muchi hoy, shuchi hoy, yadi Krishna bhaje. Shuchi hoy, muchi hoy, yadi Krishna tyaje." A Muchi can become a Shuchi. A low-class person can become a high-class, yadi Krishna bhaje, if he worships Krishna. But Shuchi hoy, Muchi hoy, yadi Krishna tyaje, if he gives up Krishna, then that person who is probably even born in a Brahman family becomes a low-class if he has given up Krishna. Look at Kaviraj Goswami's composition. And all this Kaviraj Goswami does when he is about 80, 85 years old. The Chaitanya Charitamrita that we have of Kaviraj Goswami was written by him at the age of about 80 or 85. At a time when most people are not even alive. Kaviraj Goswami starts a magnum opus to glorify Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Kaviraj Goswami, when he's about to start to write Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, Ami vridha jaratura likhite karnapaya kara mane kichu smarana na hoy na dekhiya nayane na shuniya shravane tabu likhi ei bada vesmay. Kaviraj Goswami writes, Ami vridha jaratur, I have become vridha, 85 years old. Likhite karnapaya kara. Kaviraj Goswami says, when I am starting to write, my hands are trembling. Mane kichu smarana na hoy, I am not able to remember anything. Na dekhiya nayane. Kaviraj Goswami's eyes were such that he had to use his fingers to open his eyes. He was that old. Na dekhiya nayane, na shuniya shravane. My hearing ability has gone. Still, I am being empowered to write. Tabu likhi ei bada vismay. Oh ho ho. I am being empowered to write after so much disqualification. This is surely Radha Madan Mohan's mercy. Why? Because Madan Mohan inspired him, the garland fell. We have heard the story. So that Kaviraj Goswami, he writes, Muchi hoy, shuchi hoy, yadi Krishna bhaje, shuchi hoy, muchi hoy, yadi Krishna tyaje. Now comes a very interesting point. I will not explain it. All of you all have heard it. It is the talk of the town, very hot topic. I will not explain it for various reasons. And you will know why once I go to the next slide. You will know what we are referring to. The last point. Rings bells. Diksha can be taken from someone who has departed this world. If you have got it, great. If you have not got it, you are very, very fortunate. Krishna has protected you. It's not worth understanding. Diksha can be taken from someone who's departed. The Ritvik philosophy. I'll just put it that way. The Ritvik philosophy. It's part of an upper sampradaya that Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave. The Karta Bhaja Sampradaya outright explicitly says that you can take Diksha from someone who has also already left this world. Someone who has physically left this world, you can still become their disciple. You may have heard such things in online, YouTube, and different other places. We will not get into the details because we don't want to criticize anyone. But we want to present the unadulterated point that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is presenting. That this, as outlined by him, Saraswati Thakur and our Srila Prabhupada, is a right-away deviation of taking initiation from someone who has left this world physically. The conclusion is that the Guru alone is God in his worshipable form. No form other than his is worshipable, including the Archa Murti. No name is chanted other than the name of the Guru. If the name of Krishna is chanted, it is because the Guru is Krishna. Very vague philosophy. But that's the essence. Guru is everything. Holy name is not much required. And the last point, that one can take or seek initiation from someone who has left this world. It has never happened in any sampradaya practically, if you see. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took from Ishwarapuri, who was present on the planet. Sri Ramachandra took from someone who was present on the planet. Krishna took from Sandipani Muni and Bhagori Rishi, who were present on the planet. The Supreme Lord himself sets an example of taking initiation from someone who was there physically in the planet. But anyway, that's how deviation comes in. Of taking Diksha from someone who has already departed this world. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami says, please kindly repeat, Yuruvara Mukunda Preshthatve Smara Paramamajashram Nanumana. He says, "O mind, please remember again and again your spiritual master who is most dear to Krishna." Srila Raghunath Das Goswami says, it is of paramount importance to remember the spiritual master, but not at the expense, not at the cost of sidelining Krishna. The purpose of taking Diksha is to achieve Krishna. Not at the expense where we put Krishna to the side and then just worship Guru. This is Karta Bhaja. Karta means the boss. Those who think Guru is everything, Guru is boss. So this is the 11th Apasampradaya. Now we go to the 12th, called as Gauranga Nagari. Gauranga Nagari. Can someone read this with a loud voice? Yes, someone maybe from the adults. Someone from the adults maybe.
From the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an intelligent person engaged in pure devotional service can understand that he always felt separation from Krishna within himself. In that separation, he sometimes felt that he had found Krishna and was enjoying the meeting. The significance of this separation and meeting is very specific. If someone tries to understand the exalted position of Lord Chaitanya without knowing this, he is sure to misunderstand it. One must first become fully self-realized. Otherwise, he may misidentify the Lord as Nagara, or the enjoyer of the damsels of Raja, thus committing the mistake of Rasabasa or overlapping understanding.
I have a question for all of you all. Where have you heard, in which song have you heard this word Nagara? What's the start? Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana. What does the word Nagara mean? Krishna is called Brajabara Nagara. Nagara means he who is the enjoyer. Krishna is Brajabara Nagara, as Prabhupada explains here. He is the enjoyer of the damsels of Braja. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not a Nagara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming in the mood of a devotee. Now this is Siddhanta. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming in the mood of a devotee. Krishna is Brajabara Nagara, not Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Those who are of this deviant sect, they have this understanding and their aspiration is very different. Their aspiration is, they in the spiritual world want to become a Sakhi and they want to dance around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When was the last time you heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing that? Krishna dances, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of a devotee. But those who are of this ideology, they aspire to become Matajis in that world, female in that world, and they desire to dance with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who himself is coming in the mood of a devotee. It's complete rasabhas, complete apasiddhanta, complete apasampradaya. Seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and seeing Krishna are different. Krishna is Brajabara Nagara. Mahaprabhu is not Gauranga Nagara. He is in the mood of a devotee. In fact, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strict that he would stay miles and miles and miles away from the opposite gender. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is filled with such examples. Before we get into that, we see here for the Gauranga Nagari, they also wear tilak, they also wear neck beads, they are good kirtan performers, and they stay away from flesh and fish, that is meat and intoxication. But can I add something? They stay away from intoxication and meat eating only on Friday. Remaining days, maja masti karo. Stay away from this only on Friday, where it is given self-illumination. That's their understanding. Just stay away on Friday, which means remaining 6 days, do whatever you want. One day, stay away. Like you see in India also, you ask people, are you vegetarian? No, I'm vegetarian. And some people ask, do you eat meat? No, I don't eat meat. I eat meat only on Tuesday, Thursday. Remaining days, I don't eat. Where this concept came of Tuesday, Thursday, I don't know. I have seen it heavily in Maharashtra. Not eating only on Tuesday, Thursday. Well, if you're not eating, why not eat? Why not eat in all of the days? But you have these kind of people who will claim they're vegetarian, and they have this Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Very, very unique. They have themselves picked their days. So they have tilak, they have neck beads, they're good kirtan performers, which means it's very interesting that if someone is present as a Gauranga Nagari, it's very difficult to identify them till the time you don't talk with them. Which means this is internal. This is not external like Sakhi Beki and Chudadhari. Because they carry a very wrong concept in their heart that Gauranga can be a Nagara like Brajabara Nagara, like Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes in Adi Lila, chapter 4, text 41 purport. But the Gauranga Nagaris, who place Lord Chaitanya in the position of enjoyer and themselves as his enjoyed, are not approved by Lord Chaitanya or by Lord Chaitanya's followers. Instead of being blessed, the foolish imitators are left completely apart. So you see all of these deviations that are there, Srila Prabhupada has constantly written about them at different times, at different places, in different purports. Literally for every deviation that we saw, there is a Prabhupada purport. And of course there are many more purports. If we start going through them, then the whole series will just be purports. But we see in Shastra, in the books of Prabhupada, he gives many long purports against these deviations. But the fact of the matter is, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed against or stayed miles apart from the opposite gender. Why? Because Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was there in Jagannath Puri, he was being served by Govinda. At that time, Jagadananda Pandit came there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a lot of affection for Jagadananda Pandit. Mahaprabhu would call him Jagga. Where is my Jagga? Nickname, Jagga. So in Chaitanya Bhagavat also we find, he will be addressed as Jagga. Where is my Jagga? So Jagadananda Pandit, one time he brought a very fragrant oil for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he wanted to give it to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gauranga Mahaprabhu was not there, he had gone to take darshan. He gave it to Govinda. Govinda said, Mahaprabhu will not accept. I know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi, he will not wear this oil. No, tell him Jagga brought it. Tell him his Jagga, Jagadananda brought it. Govinda said, yeah, but he will still not take it. He said, no, tell him I brought it, he will take it. So Govinda said, okay. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and the moment Mahaprabhu entered the room was fragrant. Mahaprabhu looked at Govinda and said, where is this fragrance coming from? And Govinda would be really scared of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would be really scared of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Govinda said, my dear Lord, Jagadananda came and he gave oil and he wants you to put that oil on your body. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, didn't you tell him I am a sannyasi? I cannot have this fragrant oil. He said, I told him, he didn't accept. He said, no, give it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu will like this oil. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard it, Mahaprabhu didn't say anything. The next day, Jagadananda Pandit again came. And he went to Govinda. Did Mahaprabhu put the oil? Govinda said, why are you asking me? You asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You want to give the oil to him. He has to put. I am the person in between. He said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not accept. Jagadananda Pandit, when he heard Mahaprabhu's argument as to why he doesn't want to wear the oil, he got so angry that he picked up the oil and threw it to the ground and broke the bottle. Jagadananda Pandit was known for his anger. Who is Jagadananda Pandit in Krishna Leela? Satyabhama. Jagadananda Pandit was known for his anger. Why? Because Satyabhama had that same trait. Old habits die hard. He was very fiery. The oil bottle was broken. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and Mahaprabhu looked and he saw in one day Jagadananda got so angry that he broke the oil. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at Govinda and said, why doesn't this Jagga understand I am a sannyasi? If I wear oil, people will call me a Dari sannyasi. People will say that I am associating with the opposite gender and that's where I am getting the fragrance from. Why doesn't he understand I am a sannyasi? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, a sannyasi is like a white cloth. But in that white cloth, if there is a small black spot, people will forget the whiteness completely and they will just focus on that black spot because the sannyas ashram is very respected. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, sannyasira alpa chhidra sarva loke gaye. If there is alpa chhidra, small blemish in his character, people will catch that wrong thing that he has done and forget every good thing that he has probably done in the past. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, why doesn't he understand? I cannot. And Jagadananda Pandit was so furious, he stopped eating. He said, I will not eat. Till the time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't accept it, I will not eat. And of course they had their transcendental relationship and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu somehow convinced him. And both of them honored prasadam. But the fact of the matter is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would stay away from even the thought of associating with the opposite gender. Now this completely refutes the Gauranga Nagari concept of those who want to become female and want to dance with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he has not even done it in this world, how can you expect he will even do it in that world? One time Brahmananda Prabhu, he came to Prabhupada. Prabhupada was in California. Brahmananda Prabhu came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I have brought nice rosewood oil for your massage. Because they would do body massage for Prabhupada, Shruta Kirti Prabhu, Brahmananda Prabhu. So they brought rosewood oil for Prabhupada. That small bottle during those days was $100. You can imagine, like few ml, $100. They thought we will give best to Prabhupada. Brahmananda Prabhu gave the rosewood oil to Prabhupada. Prabhupada opened the bottle, poured the full bottle in his hand and started massaging his own head. Brahmananda Prabhu said, Prabhupada, it is expensive. It's you cannot say much because Gurudev is there. But in his heart he was thinking, $100, $100, gone. And then he thought, Prabhupada has liked it so much, I should get another bottle. He asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, how was the oil? Did you like it? Prabhupada said, it is good, but the one in Calcutta is better. And Brahmananda Prabhu thought, my goodness, here is a rosewood oil which people die for from California, and here is Prabhupada. His heart is still there in the streets of Calcutta. And Brahmananda Prabhu said, my ego there and there itself was smashed completely. And so Prabhupada, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has a very transcendental episode with the oil. The Gauranga Nagaris are not interested in Lord Chaitanya as a devotee or his 5 features as Panchatattva. They don't accept Srivas, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Nitai. Now this is straight away Rasabhas, right? Doesn't require any explanation. The Panchatattva that we long for when we go to Mayapur temple, right? It's so amazing. You stand there in front of Panchatattva and Radha Madhav during Mangalarti and you actually realize how small you are. Not just in the form, in reality also. They are so huge. भगवान कितने बड़े हैं, हम कितने छोटे हैं, वास्तव में पता चलता है. They don't accept any of the 5 features. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam, Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam, Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. The 5 aspects, the 5 features of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they accept only Lord Chaitanya, no one else. They style him as Nagara, and they represent or see themselves as Nagari. And they call themselves Gauranga Nagari. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one time when he was there in Jagannath Puri, he heard a recitation of Geet Govinda. Geet Govinda was very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and is very dear to Jagannath. Even now in Jagannath Puri at night time, when they put the Lord to rest, the cloth with which they cover Jagannath, that cloth has the verses of Geet Govinda inscribed on it. He is covered at night with the verses of Geet Govinda. Why? Because there is a long history of Jagannath's love for Geet Govinda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri heard Geet Govinda in the middle of the night. And Mahaprabhu left his home and started running as to see where is the singing coming from. And Mahaprabhu was walking that way. And his servant had to come and hold him. His servant had to come and hold Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, "My dear Lord, what are you doing? It's a small girl who is singing. If the world gets to know, what will happen?" Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so intoxicated, he lost track of his bodily consciousness, and with just the hearing of Geet Govinda, he ran just to hear the verses. His servant had to catch him. "My dear Lord, control. Please hold on to yourself." But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, always physically and mentally, was away from the opposite gender. Why are we saying all this? To prove the point which is against the concept of Gauranga Nagaris, to become Nagara and to become Nagari. Mahaprabhu did not appreciate that. One time, Sripad Aindra Prabhu, in the 24-hour kirtan, after he finished his kirtan, when he was going back to his room, he saw one brahmachari. And that brahmachari was talking to a Mataji, having a normal conversation. They were standing and they were having a normal conversation. Aindra Prabhu went back to his room and called the brahmachari. Now, if Aindra Prabhu calls you to your room, then it is game, set and match. It is either going to be real enlightenment or it is going to be very heavy chastisement. But with the chastisement, there will also be enlightenment. He called the brahmachari. The brahmachari went to Aindra Prabhu's room. Aindra Prabhu gave him a 4.5-hour brahmachari class only because he spoke to the opposite gender. He went into the room at 7 o'clock. He came out at 11:30 at night, practically never to see at the opposite gender ever again. Aindra Prabhu gave like a booster injection to him. And that brahmachari was saying, one of the striking points Aindra Prabhu said is, Aindra Prabhu told him, if you desire the embrace of Krishna, you should learn the art of giving up the embrace of the opposite gender in this world. If you desire the embrace of Krishna, if that's what you desire, if you desire the embrace of Krishna, you should learn the art of giving up the embrace of the opposite gender in this world. Brahmachari said, I had never heard a brahmachari class so strong. I joined the ashram, but after living in the ashram for a couple of years, after meeting Aindra Prabhu, I realized what brahmacharya means. 4.5-hour dose only for talking with the opposite gender. Satya. So, Aindra Prabhu follows in the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who had this very strong principle. Srila Rupa Goswami, we see the same thing. When Srila Rupa Goswami composed the verse, Hari Purata Sundara Dviti Kadamba Sandipita Sadar Day Kandare Spurutava Shishachi Nandana. When Rupa Goswami wrote Hari Purata, addressing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Hari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, hey, who has written this verse? Even though the composition was correct. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like when he is addressed in the mood of Krishna. Prabhu kahe Vishnu Vishnu iha na kahibo. When devotees would call him as Vishnu, Mahaprabhu would close his eyes. Prabhu kahe Vishnu Vishnu iha na kahibo. Don't call me Vishnu. Why? Because he came in the mood of a devotee. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri doing the Gundicha margin, when he was doing the Gundicha cleaning. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing the Gundicha cleaning, at that time one devotee walked in. Mahaprabhu was there with all his associates. One devotee walked in and he bathed. And he bathed the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was cleaning the temple of Gundicha, and from behind he came and he bathed the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this, he got very angry. And he called Swarup Damodar Goswami and said, look what your Gaudiya is doing. Tomara Gaudiya, look what your Gaudiya is doing. He is worshipping me and washing my lotus feet. Swarup Damodar Goswami took the devotee outside. And after taking the devotee outside, he said, very good. Very nice. Do it next time also. But in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you cannot say it. Mahaprabhu said, Tomara Gaudiya, look what your Gaudiya is doing. He is considering me as God. But Swarup Damodar Goswami took the devotee out and said, good, very nice. Keep doing it. So the point is, the Lord does not like two things. One, the association of the opposite gender. Why? Because he's a sannyasi. And sannyasi means the association of the opposite gender is restricted and practically nil. And second, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like when he was addressed as Bhagavan. And Gauranga Nagari, they break both these principles. So that's the 12th one. And finally, we go to our last, which is Ati Badi. What is it called? Ati Badi. This is a letter of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in 1871, August of 1871, which came in a Cuttack newspaper called as The Progress. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes the origin, philosophy, and the practices of the Ati Badi sect. What follows is a synopsis of the most pertinent points of that letter. It's a very big letter, spans multiple pages. I couldn't afford to add it here, but I've just added 2-3 points that illustrate what this sect is. This Sampradaya was started by one Jagannath Das at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu was living at Jagannath Puri as a sannyasi. He claimed to be a disciple of Haridas Thakur, but later on broke his connection with Thakur and began preaching his own ideas. For instance, this is very hilarious. For instance, he had his follower cover their mouth while chanting Mahamantra and told them to chant the second half, that is Hare Rama first, before Hare Krishna. Completely deviating, correct? She was like, not in line with what Mahaprabhu preached, and over and above, he is the disciple of Haridas Thakur. He better know what the Mahamantra is. हरिदास ठाकुर के डिसाइपल होके महामंत्र ही गलत बोल दिए, मतलब बाप रे बाप. The word Ati Badi means too great. What's the history here? This Jagannath Das, who was the disciple of Srila Haridas Thakur, was at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One time he came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, my dear Lord, I want to show you something. He had written 5 extra chapters to the Srimad Bhagavatam, his own commentary. 5 extra chapters that even Shukadev Goswami didn't speak. He had his own realization. And he wanted to present that in Odia language to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he said, my dear Lord, I want to show these 5 extra chapters. What is your take on it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am very fallen. I don't understand Bhagavatam. I will not understand this. He said, no, you please check and see what you have to say. If there is any correction, I will do that also. Mahaprabhu said, I am very fallen. I don't understand the Srimad Bhagavatam. You are Ati Badi. You have become very great. You are writing 5 chapters extra to Srimad Bhagavatam. You have become Ati Badi. You are very great. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you have become Ati Badi. You have become very great. Interestingly, whenever anyone would compose anything, it would go through Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swarup Damodar Goswami would screen for any rasa, bhas or apasiddhanta and then present it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Jagannath Das, who was there, he didn't go to Swarup Damodar Goswami. Straight away went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu realized that and said, "You are Ati body. You are very great. I will not understand any of these things." But those who were around that time, when they heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said this to Jagannath Das, they took it as a praise. Jagannath Das has been called as Ati body. Mahaprabhu has given a stamp. He is very great. No, Mahaprabhu used sarcasm. He used satire. But those people who could not understand the sarcasm, they thought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has himself declared that Jagannath Das's Ati body is very great. Let's just follow him. Pride rises, ego rises. He rejects Haridas Thakur, and then what follows is the Ati body sect, their own Srimad Bhagavatam, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not accept, which Rupa and Sanatana or the 6 Goswamis did not accept. It's very interesting that he was given a place by Maharaj Prataparudra in Jagannath Puri. But when Maharaj Prataparudra got to know about Jagannath Das and his Ati body sect, he kicked him out from there. He didn't know where to go, so he went to Jagannath Puri, to the ocean. And he went near the ocean and prayed to the ocean that I don't have any space to make my own bhajan kutir. So I pray to you, you do something. He prayed to the ocean, Jagannath Das. And the moment he prayed to the ocean went back by 7 waves. It went back by 7 waves, and he built his own mutt there, which is still there in Jagannath Puri, called as Sat Lehari Mutt. Sat means 7, Lahar means waves. Sat Lahari Mutt, which is actually a deviant sect. So sometimes our devotees, not knowing, being so ecstatic, end up going to take darshan, not realizing that it's an Ati body sect or deviation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed. It's still there, Sat Lahari Mutt in Jagannath Puri. So we find this Jagannath Das was considered the Sampradayik head of their deviation. And finally, to end our discussion, there was a personality by the name Bish Kishan. He was also a big-time Ati body. He was during the time of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This Bish Kishan who was there was a big-time yogic siddhi, tantric, very powerful. And he would call himself as Vishnu. And he had 2 associates whom he had given the names Brahma and Shiva. So pura Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh idhar hi hai. The full Trimurti is here. And again a complete deviation. And being in the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this Bish Kishan was such that he had big jata, matted locks. And you see sadhus, their Shakti lies in their hair. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to expose him. Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to him. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, instead of preaching, straight away went with scissors and gave him nice haircut, great clips. He gave him nice, great clips, free haircut, whether he wanted or not. He gave him nice haircut. Like you see in the Mahabharata, when, in the Mahabharata, you have Jayadratha. When Jayadratha is kidnapping Draupadi, at that time, Arjuna finally gets Draupadi back. And they're discussing what to do. And they're discussing death penalty. And Draupadi at that time says, no, don't kill him. Let's just humiliate him. Don't kill him. Let's just humiliate. And at that time, the Pandavas, they give a very unique haircut. Half side is gundu, half side is hair. And for Jayadratha, that was too much. For a Kshatriya, they prefer death over humiliation. His signal was indeed lost. He didn't know what to do. How will he show his face in front of Duryodhan? And mind you, they didn't have caps that time. It's not that you can wear a cap and you can cover yourself. It was humiliation for him. Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to Bishkishan, who was an ati body and calling himself as Vishnu, went with scissors and straight away gave him nice haircut, and he lost all his hair. And now when the Shakti is taken away from the hair, when there's no hair, Bishkishan got very angry. He looked at Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't stop there. He did haircut and also imprisoned him. Because he was magistrate, he had the power to do it, he put him behind bars. Jail mein bhi dale, haircut bhi kiye. This Bishkishan was so angry at Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he looked at him and said, "You have humiliated me, you have put me behind bars. I will make sure that all your family suffers for this." Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, "Okay, do whatever you want." Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur has the backing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He doesn't fear any ati body. But even though this person was behind bars, he was such a tantric, such a yogic siddhi, that it is explained Bhaktivinoda Thakur fell ill. His wife fell ill. His children fell ill. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur still did not stop. He still wanted to expose this ati body and put the ati bodies to an end. After about 21 days, this Bishkishan died in the jail. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not release him. He gave him a haircut and put him behind bars, and he died in the jail. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has contributed immensely to exposing these deviant sects. Not just exposing them, but writing commentaries, illuminating the practitioners. Imagine if not for Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how will we know what are the deviant sects? How do we know what Mahaprabhu preached? How do we know what we are supposed to practice? Because wearing tilak and kanti is very easy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, "Mate tilak kanti mala achhe piche sundar bala." One can have mathe tilak and kanti mala, but what activities he is doing behind the back, no one really knows. Srila Radhanath Maharaj in one class was saying, character is who we are when no one is watching us. Character is who we are when no one is watching us. Because when everyone is watching us, we are all devotees. You know, sometimes it's seen when a new person walks into the center, to our preaching center, when a new person walks in who has no idea about ISKCON, automatically at that time we have a syndrome. It is called as PDS, Pure Devotee Syndrome. Automatically in front of him we become a pure devotee. Because he doesn't know any Siddhanta. So he is that one person in front of whom we can be PDS, pure devotee. But we find Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, apart from his job, apart from his family, apart from the various commitments he had, apart from writing books, apart from writing about 143 Vaishnava songs, apart from writing the Baula Sangeet, the 12 songs to expose the Baulas, writing articles to expose the ati bodies, imprisoning Bishkishan, writing about Jagannath Das. If not for Thakur Bhaktivinoda, how will we know what the deviations are, and how will we know what Mahaprabhu preached? So oftentimes we speak about Bhaktivinoda Thakur on his appearance and disappearance day. Right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Saraswati Thakur, we heavily speak about them on their appearance and disappearance. But from a lifestyle perspective, we see, if we are fortunate enough to follow the right line, if we are able to follow the right path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a lot of credit for that goes to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is that personality who cleared all the weeds. All these weeds that were going, Bhaktivinoda Thakur cleared them out. Established proper Siddhanta. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, on that foundation, he started building a temple in the form of Gaudiya Mutt in India. He did preaching in India based on whatever Bhaktivinoda Thakur had cleared the weeds. And then Prabhupada did the icing on the cake, where he took that same mission one step ahead by taking the mission of Gauranga Mahaprabhu across the globe. What Srila Prabhupada did is par excellence. Probably never in the history anyone ever will again do it. And no one ever in the past also did it. When one reporter came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, why did you come to America? Srila Prabhupada in his humility said, some of my god brothers went to Germany and they failed. Some other god brothers went to London and they failed. I thought if I have to anyway fail, why not I fail in another place? Prabhupada never boasted about himself. Never. You will never find Prabhupada speaking about himself. Even when the disciples would glorify, Prabhupada would say, it is only by the mercy of my Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Saraswati Thakur would give the credit to his Gurudev, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. And he would give it to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and the Sampradaya continues. So, let us offer our heartfelt respects and gratitude to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because of whose kind endeavor and whose extreme struggle we have been blessed with the opportunity of practicing Krishna consciousness in this very rarely achieved human birth. Having said this, I very humbly want to stop here and wholeheartedly thank all of you all for being for all the 4 classes and inspiring me with your presence. This is a section which is philosophical at the same time humorous, but because of all of your kind blessings and mercy, we were able to discuss the 13 different types of deviations. If I said anything wrong or if I said anything apasiddhanta, please kindly as Saragrahi Vaishnavas, please forgive me. And if we were inspired in any way, the whole and soul credit goes to Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And finally, again, my heartfelt gratitude to our host. I don't know where they're sitting, but wherever the hosts are, my heartfelt gratitude to our hosts for opening their home so that we can meet on a Saturday night to complete our discussion. And also finally, a big heartfelt gratitude to His Grace Satyasara Prabhu and Jai Subhadra Mataji for giving us the platform where we can discuss the work, the struggle, and the contribution of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur ki, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Do we taking any questions, Prabhu?
Maybe we will end here because it's nearing 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. There's a Sunday feast also. So we will pause for now.
I'll give a quick summary, Prabhu. You have pretty much covered everything, but I just want to highlight some important points. When we spoke about Sakhi Beki and Chudadhari, Prabhu, you reminded us that Krishna only sees if the devotee has done bhakti, nothing external. Just because we wear kantimala, tilak, it doesn't mean that we'll become devotees and go to Krishna. Krishna is only going to see internal. He's not going to see someone if they are crooked. Krishna will never accept if someone is crooked. And the other point you mentioned, Prabhu, that low-class person can become high-class by remembering Krishna. High-class person can fall down if he forgets Krishna. So very, very important. And Mahaprabhu, when it came to Mahaprabhu, like Indra Prabhu said, if you desire to embrace Krishna, then you should forget the embrace of opposite gender, which is also one of the regulative principles. And finally, about the Atibadi, if you think you are too great, greater than the Lord, greater than the Guru, then you are going to fall down. That was such a wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming to Austin. Prabhu, please don't